How y'all doing? I know that Robert and Judy and Melody and Ashley, you guys have already read my post on Facebook about this, but I want as many as possible to hear this article that came out today. And why people are frowning away from church, not just in America, but universally. Frowning away from the gathering together in churches. California church plans to build brewery, offer beer during services. For one California congregation, church services are looking more like concerts. The Greater Purpose Community Church in Santa Cruz has for 5 years held services in traditional church building, but recently decided to sell the property because, according to Pastor Chris Van Hall, church is a community and a movement. It's not brick and mortar, he explained, but apparently the lofty sentiment was pretty short-lived. Since selling its building, the congregation has been meeting at a local food lounge, a community hub with plenty of beer options. When the group of believers first started using the space, Van Hall asked the bartenders to keep the taps open because there's nothing in the Bible that says you can't drink alcohol in a responsible manner. No, it doesn't. Sure doesn't. Why not serve beer when they're reading Bible verses, bar owner says. I thought it was genius. Van Hall, who admitted he preaches a progressive take on theology, said congregants often sip on beer or wine while they listen to his sermons, a recent phenomenon that sparked his idea to blend a church facility with a money-making business donating between 30 and 60% of his profits to charity. Does this pastor run and own these charities? I'm just asking, does he own or run these for-profit charities? This new approach to Sunday morning services seems short-sighted, given it's not necessarily creating a family-friendly atmosphere and is downright toxic to visitors or regular attenders who have in the past or currently struggled with alcoholism. Van Hall is nevertheless marching forward, turning an old bookstore in downtown Santa Cruz into a brewery, where the church will eventually hold its services before opening up to the public. The pastor made it clear he doesn't want to open the bar ahead of services because they could mistakenly dupe people into attending a worship service. Well, that's what he's doing. Construction on the new space is expected to take about 1 year. So in a year, you'll be able to have beer and a Bible. Well, this is the example of the pathetic state of churches today. In this age of rock bands and smoke machines in a church service, yet here is another carnal worm to lure the fish into the net. A bar in a supposed place of worship. This is today. This Mr. Cool pastor says church is a community and a movement. Pastor Van Hall is correct. His church is a community of irreverent, lukewarm Laodiceans, desiring worldly pleasures to make church entertaining and tolerable. This Pastor Van Hall is again accurate when he states that his church is a movement. It's a movement of attracting easy believers that more than likely own a dust-covered Bible and think salvation is the name of a Christian rock band. These congregants can't take living for and of Christ seriously. An atmosphere that is of the world scene. This is just my opinion, and I'm sure it's an opinion of a very few. I'm sure of that. Most people probably approve of this. To make my point carry weight, this pastor admits that the congregants are altering their mind in a supposed place of worship when he brags, if they have a couple beers, my sermons are better. Oh, jeez. Oh, I sure hope there aren't any recovering alcoholics that attend this church. That'd be a shame. That'd be a crying shame to make your brother stumble, wouldn't it?